All right, today we are back in the 2024 Ford Mustang Darkhorse. We've got the Tremec 6-speed manual transmission. We have a 5-liter Coyote V8. We're in track mode. Traction control is off. Let's walk you guys around this real quick. You've seen it in a couple videos already. Solo for a first impressions drive, and then versus the Camaro SS1LE. The Camaro SS1LE ran a 143.4. like 5 times today. So it's very, very consistent out there. We'll see what the Darkhorse does. We're on a set of Pirelli Trofeo RS tires with a set of Brembo brakes that are seeing quite a bit of brake pulsating according to Topher Brower. So we'll see how they perform on track today. Maybe they just needed to be bedded in. We've got the Recaro seats as tested. This is about $83,000. Starting price is around 65 grand for the Darkhorse, but that doesn't include a performance pack or anything like that. It sounds amazing. Got about a 7,200, 7,300 RPM red line. Driving position feels good. This Recaro seat is a little bit high for my 5'10" frame, but I feel like I have enough headroom in here with the helmet. I'm not bumping around on the ceiling, even with my camera. So let's see how it goes. Colin's in the passenger seat. You may remember Colin from the K24 S2000 video. And he's back. He drove from Minneapolis today to be out here, which I think is a record for anyone driving out to this track day.
Why not?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Good job. Let's see, climate control. Let's go low. Let's go fan. We're gonna turn off our AC and get a little bit toasty in this thing, but that'll keep our temps down. Not a fan of all the screen controls in here. They are just kind of clunky. I do like how linear the throttle is in track mode. That's fantastic. And we'll do windows up here. Steering is light. We're gonna push that a little bit forward. Yeah, we should be fine. And rev matching is enabled. Brakes feel great, really good bite. Better than what we've seen in the Camaro today, at least initially. Bit of a delay with the input there though. The power feels good. Engine sounds a little bit like the GT350's flat plane crank motor, higher revs, but not quite the same. Not as raw, a little bit more torque here. Leave it in third through here. This does have no lift shift, but red line comes up so early before the red line. That's such a weird, weird thing. All right, Trofeo RSs, are you warm? Let's see what you can do. Shifting at 7,200. Awesome. MagneRide feels great. A little bit of understeer. This does have the track alignment. For whatever that's worth today, we'll see. Brakes feel fantastic. I'm gonna go down into second here. Little drift on the way out. Probably only need third. Gearing here's a little bit shorter than it is in the Camaro, which is interesting. I like to take a wide line through here and then cut in. Feels good. good. Steering is definitely a lot better on track when you can really push it. The steering just gets better and better the harder you push this car with that updated rack. Torque is awesome. Power feels really good. Brakes have excellent bite. Getting a little bit of pulsating right now as things are coming up to temp. That red line just comes up a little too early compared to the tack. Similar speeds on the back straightaways to what we've seen in the Camaro. Let's see what this lap brings us. What does it say there?
I can't even read it with my glasses on, to be honest.
I think that was, last lap was a 145. We can push it a little harder though. We'll get past John Wong here in his S2000. I will say this is one of the better Mustangs I've ever driven on track. It has a little bit more immediacy and feedback. At the top of fourth here, into the braking zone. Also, tire pressures are a little higher. We might take some air out of this. I think that would do better. Rev matching is good. No lift shift doesn't quite have the same drama of the Camaro.
What does this thing weigh?
Probably about 3,800 pounds, maybe a little bit more. These tires do hide some of that weight.
Yeah, I was gonna say the tires feel, even from the passenger seat, this thing's got grip.
Yeah, these True LNRSs are probably some of like the class leaders now as far as like a track tire. They're really fast. Pretty quiet too. Oh man, this thing just sounds so good. So in terms of times, it honestly doesn't feel too far off from the Camaro or the Type R. They're all kind of in the same league as far as lap times. Okay, so our best lap was a 1:45.25. I honestly thought it would be a little bit quicker than that, but maybe we can get a little bit more time out of this in a second session now that I'm comfortable with the car. And we'll take some air out of the tires. And for how high the tire pressures were, the brakes did it. Like they felt really stable.
Like this feels really stable when you're in them.
Yeah, stock for stock, this is a much better braking system than the Camaro, at least the Camaro pads. I mean, you look at the hardware here and it's just enormous.
Yeah.
Using the no lift?
I haven't, no.
No. It works well.
It does, yeah. Brakes are great here. For a factory braking setup, this just feels fantastic. Get on the power early. This is the most balanced Mustang I've ever driven on track. I think the GT350 is pretty darn close. GT350R is pretty darn close. But again, we haven't really driven that on a dry day, so we don't know. The big difference here is just the tire, the tighter steering. This Tremec is awesome. It doesn't feel twitchy, it feels stable. I have a lot of confidence in my inputs with this, and everything's off too. I usually don't turn everything off in a Mustang, just because there's always a bit of inherent unpredictability there, but I feel confident with the Darkhorse.
That is unreal.
Just nuts, yeah.
Wow.
Cheese grater corner here. Probably could have got on the power a little earlier. Try no lift shift. Yeah, it just drops revs. Early on red line there.
Yep.
This braking is so stable. Coming into the front straight. All right, what do are we gonna hit here? That felt like a pretty darn good lap. That was a 143. I don't know exactly what, but all right. So that was a 143.7.
Pretty fast.
Camaro did a 143.4 very consistently, and Type R was 144 flat.
Oh, so they're all like the same.
They're all about the same. Let's push it a little harder in the Mustang. I think we can get a little bit closer to the Camaro.
Yeah.
Does like a beating though. You could just rip on this thing. That's where it sounds like a GT350.
Yes.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yep. And that front splitter that scrapes and everything, that's where that comes into play.
Out the G meter.
Yep. Into fifth. We'll try it. Whatever it's worth. Yeah, brakes are just great. Say as last lap. 142.
142.27.
Okay, cool.
Wow.
All right, so
that's it.
Darkhorse takes the cake. That was the quickest lap we've done so far, and driver mod, there might be a little bit left in there. Not a race car driver.
Yeah, you are.
I can just drive enough to entertain some people.
I can't believe you just said driver mod. You're like the Gingerman stick.
I'm like kind of quick around here, but
yeah.
there are some other people who could probably get into the 140s with something like this.
Yeah.
Whew, that was fun.
Very fun.
All right, well, I really have to drive this back to back with like a GT350R, so I can't really say if it's the best Mustang I've ever driven on track, but it all comes together really, really well. And, you know, best steering I've had in a Mustang recently. The gearbox feels fantastic. The chassis is super balanced, really well set up. This track alignment, I think it's probably saving the tire too, but
yeah.
it does, the front end grip, the turn-in is amazing. There's still a little bit of safe understeer here, but it allows you to push and kind of steer with the throttle. I don't feel like this chassis is as responsive or neutral as the Camaros. The Camaro, I think, is easier to push and get a fast lap time, maybe at like 8 or 9 tenths. In this, you have to push a little bit harder and really start to kind of explore that grip envelope to get a quick lap time out of it. But it can do it, and when you do, it rewards you.
Absolutely.
I have a lot of confidence in the brakes. I know this probably needed to be bedded in. The first couple sessions that you did, you said you got a ton of vibration from the brakes. So now they're fine.
But I didn't feel any of that riding with you, so yeah,
it's okay.
I just bedded them in for you.
Also, you want to do like heavy, short bursts of braking. Whenever you extend your braking zone, you're going to start getting a little bit of you know, warping going on, or uneven pad deposits, or just a lot of heat in the system. It seemed to heat manage really well.
Yeah.
I'm still, I don't like any of the gauge readouts. I don't know what temperature anything is. I don't know if my tires are hot. I know my tire pressure. I can see a G meter that's getting maxed out constantly, and that's about it. So for all the screen real estate here, I feel like Ford should be doing better. They need the tack to actually show you where red line is. There's a little bit of a red flash, orange flash, red flash when you approach red line, but that's helpful. But again, I still really don't know what's going on here with my shifts. I'm just having to short shift through everything. No head-up display, Camaro has that. So, you know, some improvements here to be made, but ultimately, that's a really fun experience on track.
I loved this car even more from this seat than I did your seat.
That was cool. All right. That's it.
Cool.
Mustang Darkhorse around Gingerman Raceway.
Thanks for taking me.
Yes. We will stop this. And again, you know, these aren't like official lap times or anything, but let's see if we can find our analysis lap list. So we did a 142.27 in the Darkhorse, a 143.40 in the Camaro SS1 LE, and I'm pretty sure that was a 143.95 in the Civic Type R.
Okay.
So they're all within like a second or two.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But man, the new RE71RSs on the Type R are nuts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can push that thing really hard.
Yeah.
There's so much grip, but now it feels like it kind of needs a front sway bar.
Oh my god. You're at the the mechanical limit of the suspension now. That's funny.
Parking brake not applied. Good.
Tires are holding up pretty well.
Tires look fantastic. It feels like they pretty much gave us a new set of tires for this too.
I think they were brand new.
Yeah, they looked fresh.
Up at all.
Yeah, what a perfect day. I mean, it's like 65, 70 ambient temp.
Yep.
Sunny. These brakes are just massive. 305s in the front, 315s in the rear. Now I gotta go beat this lap time in the Camaro. Yeah, you can see how they moved everything in. All right, guys, well, that's a video on the Darkhorse here at Gingerman Raceway. Hopefully you've enjoyed our series on this car. It is very impressive. It is very expensive, but gosh, it does drive really well. And I think, again, Ford styled this in. This is the best Mustang we've driven to date. Excited for a GT500 in this new S650 generation, maybe something like a GT350. I feel like they could ramp it up a little bit more, but you know, as far as the naturally aspirated chassis, platform, everything goes without the flat plane crank engine, they've really dialed this car in, and on track it just comes alive in ways it doesn't on street.
It's impressive.
So cool. All right, thanks for watching. Go check out Chris's channel. He's got some videos on the Darkhorse on Winding Road Magazine as well. That'll be a wrap for our content on this car.